Okay, let me get this right. We went from men and women should be treated equal under the law to everyone is non-binary real quick. It was a slippery slope for real. Understandably so. Feminism is still needed in many parts of the world and was needed in the United States and the West at one point, right? We didn't have the right to vote. We couldn't even have our own bank accounts for a while. In many ways, we were treated as second-class citizens. In the East, it is still very dangerous for women to exist.
If you was born in Pakistan, originally from Pakistan, you must have been kidnapped by me.
Have been kidnapped by you?
Of course. Because there is no option to get you, right?
Okay. You have your women over there, though.
Seriously. So you are in Canada, so I cannot say you anything.
Okay.
I cannot touch you anything, because it is Canada.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely you couldn't touch me. There's laws to this shit here.
You know what I mean?
That's not that flattering. That's kind of scary.
Trust me, because like there was no option.
Female genital mutilation is also still a thing that happens overseas. But specifically in the West, that's what we're talking about today. Why are there so many feminists, I should say, number one. But why are so many feminists, quote, ugly, queer, and polyamorous? It is a bit complicated, but after listening to these idiots on TikTok and Instagram and whatever for the last 5 to 10 years, I think I've narrowed it down. Let's answer one question at a time, shall we? Why are so many feminists ugly?
My choice! My choice!
By the way, we're talking about new age feminism, right? Not like the old school feminists like myself. Men are bad. Patriarchy is bad. Wanting men to find you attractive is caving to the patriarchy. Well, yeah, under that pretense, it makes sense that so many of these feminists get fat, cut their hair really short, dye it an ugly color, grow out their armpit hair, and become extremely obnoxious. All things that men probably won't find attractive, myself included. You know, a lot of people in general won't find these things attractive. Why are so many feminists non-binary? We don't need men. We can fulfill our own masculinity role. Even though we say masculinity is toxic, we actually secretly love being masculine. We just don't love when men do it. And because so many of these women are masculine or masc-presenting and don't want to confine to gender roles because that would be going with the patriarchy, they then feel the need to identify as non-binary.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm not actually non-binary. I'm making it up for attention. And then I refer to myself as they in my own head and almost cry. It does not feel like making it up for attention.
Or some even transition and then later on regret it.
I had convinced myself and kind of confused myself into thinking that the issues that I was having was gender dysphoria, which it was not. It was not actually gender dysphoria, but I had convinced myself that life would be better if I was a guy.
I want to mention one good thing that came out of all of this. Some countries actually started celebrating tomboys again, which is definitely a cool thing. I believe this was in the Philippines. Now, let's be real. Most of these people are probably lesbians and not straight, fake queer people, but in my opinion, still a good choice. Still a good move forward. Another good choice is to actually give a shit and take care of your body and weight problems. And you can start doing that today thanks to today's sponsor, Lumen. Lumen is the first ever handheld metabolic coach. You breathe into this for 30 seconds every morning, and it lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs for energy. It also gives you individualized guidance to improve your nutrition, your workouts, your sleep habits, and stress management. I've been using it for a little under a month now, and interestingly enough, it's actually helped me see that the root cause of my weight gain isn't because I eat too many carbs, it's when I eat too many carbs. Apparently, I eat way too many carbs first thing in the morning. New York City girl here, I love my bagels. Everybody is different though. Lumen lets you know exactly how your body is working in real time. Listen, with all the conflicting information out there, every 5 seconds you're seeing different ads pop up on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. Why don't we start looking from the inside to get the actual answers? It's a new year, so it's the perfect time to start treating your body the way it deserves to be treated. To get 20% off, go to lumen.me/Ariel and start improving your health today. Why are so many feminists queer? Literally every single pride event, every single feminist march that I go to, almost every single person there doesn't want to identify as straight. Why is this? Since men are bad, we can't date them. We can't be attracted to them. We can't be attractive to them, but we still secretly really like men. So why don't we call the men that we do date non-binary, or they can call themselves non-binary, or they can call themselves queer just because they're like polyamorous. Because if our boyfriends are queer, they're no longer oppressors and we are allowed to date them. Okay, but like, what does queer even mean? Does it mean having tattoos, a facial piercing, horribly cut, pixie, weird colored hair, and just like identifying as queer? Is that all it takes these days? This is what somebody like myself will call politically queer.
I'm Travis. He, him. Sometimes she. I'm gonna check the car.
So many of these women are so deep in this feminist movement. I don't even want to call it a movement. Let's just call it the feminist cult at this point. They are afraid of betraying it. They're afraid of getting thrown out of the cult. And the truth is, good feminism should embrace women as individuals, not see them as part of a larger collective, not want to control their thoughts and everybody feel the need to think and act and be the same way. Now, the interesting part of all this is that feminism over the last 10 years or so has split into two distinct parts. The left, which we just went over, and the more moderate or the right side of things. So we're gonna go over that now. With the latter, I've noticed three specific types of feminists as well. TERFs, gender critical feminists like myself, and tradwives. I know that's not a typical feminist thing, but it kind of is. Let me explain why. Why are so many feminists TERFs? All trans women are autogynephiles. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly easy to think that way since every 5 minutes we're seeing people like this on our For You pages.
Apparently my first TikTok got deleted for adult nudity and sexual activity. And I absolutely agree. I mean, I was topless and my collarbones were showing. Jokes aside though, I'm a trans girl at the start of her trans journey, so nothing makes me as euphoric as someone considering my topless body, especially since you couldn't see like literally anything in that video, to be adult nudity.
There's no such thing as a true trans. Stop saying that, Ariel. I get this comment on my videos all the time. Again, I can understand where they're coming from because there are more videos like this every single day popping up.
Well, I go where I please. I will continue to go into women's restrooms, women's locker rooms, women's spaces, because I am a woman, whether you like it or not. And there's nothing you can do about it. And so far, nobody's had the guts to even try and stop me.
Also, the fact that these trans people are taking over our protected spaces.
Seeing women that are getting hurt competing against trans athletes. You saw that?
Yeah,
She sustained brain damage. Will you sign my petition to keep men out of women's sports?
No.
And most people have no idea what to say because they're afraid of being called transphobic, homophobic, whatever, bigoted, whatever. And even if they did want to, the majority of these places where these situations exist or happen are in blue cities where the laws have changed to protect trans people.
We have to leave. The trans doesn't have to leave. That was using the women's bathroom. The man doesn't have to leave who made me uncomfortable. What about women's rights? There's no women's rights, only trans rights, right?
I have nothing further to say at this point. I am asking I will reimburse everything.
Why are so many feminists gender critical, myself included? Many of us do understand that there is extreme nuance to this conversation, right? Some people are actually trans and just want to coexist within the binary, just want to blend into society as an adult who transitions and don't want to make other people uncomfortable and go where they feel like or others feel like they don't belong. But then again, some people are just brainwashed by gender ideology.
I'm honestly trying to think if I'm a woman or just a femboy, and I'm also trying to think if I should start estrogen and would that help with my male pattern baldness.
And in my opinion, many of these people that are brainwashed into gender ideology are either sexual trauma survivors, they have autism, or are simply just plain old homosexuals that got sucked into all this.
Okay, so just to clear the air, yes, I'm trans. They're spending their time spreading that and like laughing and putting memes all over my stuff. Like just memes that are like mean and not needed.
So I think the majority of people can understand why somebody like myself would be seen as gender critical. We simply don't want people like that being taken advantage of. We want them to heal in a proper way, and telling people that are autistic that they might be non-binary or a boy or a girl simply because they feel differently about the way they see society or the way they fit into society or the way society sees them is ridiculous. And then when you do speak out against this horrible ideology, you get this. Also, the fact that this is also tiring isn't helping anybody not become more gender critical. Like, I think we've seen that progress over the years. Again, understandably so.
What's most frustrating about being transmasculine is that other people, even within the queer community, will take all of the baggage that they have from cis masculinity and put that onto you and blame you for it.
Breaking the law and recording it and telling other people how to break the law and then posting it to TikTok isn't helping anybody either.
I just got my gender changed on my driver's license in the free
state of Florida. My God, Ron DeSantis would be screaming right now if he knew about this. This little license now says female on it. It doesn't. Oh. You're not even supposed to be able to do this in this state. Here's the loophole. Here's the loophole. Listen up. If you're replacing your driver's license, not renewing it, but replacing it because you lost it, they have to take all of your information from what they consider a primary document. A passport is considered a primary document, and you can self-identify on your passport.
Why are so many feminists becoming trad wives? I asked you guys this on X, and here's what you had to say. I agree with all three of these points. It's a contrarian movement. People are waking up from the lie that hustling to consume will make them happy. Also, pop culture is ugly, cheap, and meaningless, and the trad accounts provide beautiful, nurturing, meaningful inspiration. I agree with that, for the most part. Because the boss girl era was slapped by reality. Saying you're a corporate baddie that needs no man is fun in 2018 and 2020 when tech is exploding and it's easy to make 150K doing nothing. But in 2023 and 2024, mass layoffs in tech and new graduates struggling to get jobs in all sectors, understandably so. I'd be lying if I said that women and men are equal. They are not. Women tend to be better at specific jobs, not always, and men tend to be better at specific jobs, not always. Now, that's not to say that somebody like myself or somebody that is attracted to men isn't happy being a girl boss or doesn't want to be or isn't seeing that for their future. It just means the majority of women are learning the hard way that they do want the traditional life where the man works and they stay at home. Somebody else said probably the same reason anime and gacha games, I don't know how to pronounce that, spiked in popularity. People are starved for normalcy, feminine, affectionate women, balanced households, men as providers, and other traditional values after years of aggressive anti-family, anti-man, and anti-woman regressivism. I agree. Again, not every single boss woman, myself included, wants to be a traditional housewife or a trad wife. I do think we are seeing a rise in these types of influencers though, specifically because of what this person said. I do think it's because of the anti-woman regressivism and anti-man and anti-family. I do think that's true. Now, in saying all of this, of course, that doesn't mean that I think that women like myself can't be bosses, that women can't live without men. What I am saying is that I do believe that nature will come back and bite us in the ass at one point or another. That the majority of women naturally gravitate more towards nurturing positions, nurturing situations, and men the opposite. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, Lumen. Make sure you go and support brands that are all about your morals and your health. I will see you guys back here on Sunday with a brand new video. Until then, I love you, love yourselves. Keep calling out the bullshit. Bye.